Well, guys and girls, hello. It is so good to be back. In a normal space. Didn't even really get a chance to rest yet. It was the first day back. Quickly had to shoot out and go sort out a client due to some mishap somewhere. But one thing that's been on my mind for a while, something very, very good that I want to touch on, something that I really received a fresh revelation on, and it's something that I never really thought about it like that. And that is the fact that, you know, the devil and his fallen angels, they are not afraid of the presence of God. Because if you look at, if we just go to Job for argument's sake, and I saw a pastor preach on this, just a short clip on what he was saying about this, and it was really, really cool. So when you look at Job, you see in the beginning of Job that the devil goes to the Lord, and the Lord actually asks him, so what have you been up to, sort of thing, you know? And the devil is like, oh, this and that, I've been up and down, you know? And you see this, it sounds like a very casual conversation that these two are having, because you end up seeing God almost bragging. I want to say almost, but I think God was bragging. When and he says, have you seen my servant Job? You know, so they're having a casual conversation. Now, why am I saying this? If we add something else to this, you see when we have beautiful sermons in church, when we have these beautiful events where people come and preach and people give their life to Jesus, and in beautiful praise and worship celebrations and all these cool, great things. A lot of the time you see devil manifestations or demonic manifestations that happens, and people cast demons out of people. Where? In church. That means that demon came into the church through the doors. It came in there. So they are not afraid of the presence of God. Oh man, it's so good. And this had me thinking that, you know, a lot of the times we think, you know, when tough times happen, yes, you should pray. Yes, we do worship. Yes, we have to do all these things. But we got to take a moment and start realizing what is it that is causing this stuff. We got to ask God for the discernment, for the wisdom, for the sight, to see, to hear, to know what He's pointing us into, so we can start tackling these things that need to be tackled. You know, a boxer doesn't win by closing his eyes and blindly swinging around. He keeps his eye on his target, and not just the target that he wants to hit. No, he keeps his eye on the targets that move towards him as well. He has to keep his eye on that as well, and he does, so he can defend and he can block it off. No boxer will ever win any fight by just closing their eyes and randomly continuously swinging. I think Butterbean was kind of a guy that didn't close his eyes, but that oak swung, and he knew he hit well, people knew they were hit by him. But anyway, but if you understand what I'm saying, the honest point, or the serious point I have on this, is that that's the thing. Don't just think because you're walking into the presence of God that the demonic things and the things that are holding you captive isn't going with you. They don't fall off magically when you walk into the door. You've got to remember this, because sometimes, remember, we are the ones that open doors. We are the ones that give right to these things to come into our lives. Sometimes on purpose, sometimes choicefully, sometimes by accident. It happens by thoughts we think wrong, or by things we say especially. And I've spoken on the mouth a lot. But it's very important that you know this, that it doesn't just fall off by itself. You've got to do some stuff, and you've got to realize when there's a thing or a mistake or something that's holding you in a place, is to sit with God and speak to Him about these things. That's how we can then get those things out. Switch the light on in the darkness. The darkness will only be disappearing. It will only get away. It will only run away when you turn the light on. So switch on that light. I think I'll have to touch on this one again sometime, but that's it for today. I just needed to remind you that they're not afraid. The enemy that we face, that we fight every day, is not afraid of the presence of God. That's why we got to sanctify ourselves and give our life to Jesus and live for Him and do and follow the instructions that Jesus told us. We've got to do that. Love you guys. Have a great one. See you next time. Shalom, shalom.